Have you ever looked around and felt like you're just running on a treadmill? You are putting in the work. You are trying to level up. But deep down, you just feel drained. You feel completely stuck in the exact same spot. If that hits home for you, you are definitely not alone. Actually, modern psychology tells us that feeling stuck usually isn't about what you need to add to your life. It is almost always about what you desperately need to subtract. We spend so much time trying to hustle harder, buy more stuff, and stack up achievements, but we completely ignore the invisible psychological baggage that is actively dragging us down. Today, we are talking about 5 toxic habits, mental traps, and straight-up illusions you need to cut out of your life right now. And I mean right now, before it's too late. Because if you let these ride, they will quietly eat away at your peace of mind until you burn out completely. Let's just jump right into the first one. You need to drop the desperate need for external validation. Look, we are wired as humans to want to fit in. Back in the caveman days, getting kicked out of the tribe meant you were tiger food. So caring about what people think is literally baked into our DNA. But here's where it goes totally sideways. In today's world, we have taken that survival instinct and dialed it up to an absolute 1,000. We are out here living for the gram, thirsty for likes, and constantly looking for a pat on the back from people who don't even really care about us. Psychology calls this an external locus of identity. It basically means you let the outside world dictate your inner worth. If your boss praises you, you feel like a rock star. If someone leaves a mean comment, you feel like garbage. You are handing the remote control to your emotions over to a bunch of strangers. It's exhausting. It's time to take that remote back. Stop asking for permission to feel good about yourself. Validate your own self. When you do something right, acknowledge it. When you mess up, own it and move on. Cut the cord on needing everyone else to clap for you. Now, moving right along to the second thing you gotta ditch, it is the illusion of perfection. Perfectionism is wild because society actually praises it. We wear it like a badge of honor. You hear people say stuff in interviews like, "Oh, my biggest flaw is that I'm just a perfectionist." No, bro, perfectionism is not a superpower. Psychologically speaking, it is actually a defense mechanism. It's just fear dressed up in a really nice suit. You are terrified of judgment. You are terrified of failing. So you obsess over every tiny little detail to try and bulletproof yourself against criticism. But here's the brutal truth. Perfect does not exist. It is a complete mirage. While you're busy tweaking that one project for the 50th time, someone else with good enough work is out there crushing it. They're actually putting points on the board. Perfectionism keeps you paralyzed. It keeps you stuck in the planning phase forever. You need to swap out perfection for progress. Embrace the mess. Put out the sloppy first draft. Make the cringy first video. Shoot your shot, even if it looks a little clunky, because messy action will always beat perfect inaction.
All right, this third one might ruffle a few feathers, but we have to talk about it. You need to completely remove toxic positivity from your mental diet. We live in this hyper-curated world of good vibes only. We are constantly told to just smile through the pain, look on the bright side, and never let them see you sweat. It sounds great on a bumper sticker, right? But psychologically, it is straight up poison. When you force yourself to be happy all the time, you are actually suppressing your real emotions. And emotions don't just magically disappear when you sweep them under the rug. They get stored in your body. They fester in your subconscious. Carl Jung, a legendary psychologist, talked a lot about the shadow self. If you keep shoving your anger, your sadness, or your grief into the basement of your mind, eventually that stuff is going to explode. You will end up with crazy anxiety, burnout, or you will just totally numb out. It is okay to not be okay. If you are having a trash day, just let it be a trash day. Feel the frustration. Process the anger. Let it move through you instead of bottling it up. Ditching the fake smile is honestly one of the most liberating things you can ever do for your mental health. That brings us to number 4. You have got to stop playing the comparison game. Theodore Roosevelt said comparison is the thief of joy, and man, he wasn't kidding. But modern psychology takes it a step further. We now know that chronic comparison literally rewires your brain to feel inadequate. Think about it. Whenever you scroll through social media, you are looking at someone else's highlight reel. You're seeing the insane vacations, the new cars, the perfect relationships, and then your brain automatically compares their curated highlights to your messy, boring, behind-the-scenes reality. It is a rigged game from the start. You're comparing apples to a totally fake plastic orange. This triggers massive FOMO, spikes your cortisol levels, and drops your dopamine. You literally chemically engineer yourself to feel depressed. You start feeling like you are falling behind in life. But life is not a race. There's no biological clock ticking down that says you need to have $1 million by 30. The only person you should ever compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. If you were a little bit smarter, a little bit kinder, or a little bit healthier than you were 24 hours ago, you are winning. Mute those accounts that make you feel like garbage. Curate your feed. Protect your mental space fiercely. And finally, the fifth thing you need to remove from your life before it's too late. It is living in the rear-view mirror. I'm talking about rumination. It's that nasty habit of replaying your past mistakes on a continuous loop inside your head. You lay in bed at 2 a.m. thinking about that embarrassing thing you said 3 years ago, or you keep dwelling on a relationship that ended badly. Psychologists call this a negative feedback loop. When you obsess over the past, your brain actually cannot tell the difference between a memory and something happening right now. So your body goes into a state of fight or flight over something that has already ended. You are basically re-traumatizing yourself for absolutely no reason. Listen to me on this. The past does not exist anywhere except in your head. It is gone. It is a ghost. You cannot change it, no matter how much you stress over it. All that energy you spend looking backwards is energy you are stealing from your future. You have to practice radical acceptance. Acknowledge what happened, take the lesson from it, and then brutally cut the emotional cord. Give yourself permission to move forward. Your best days are ahead of you, but you will never see them if you are constantly looking backwards. Dropping these 5 things is not going to be easy. It's not an overnight fix, but if you start chipping away at them day by day, I promise you will feel a massive weight lift off your shoulders. You will start thinking clearer. You will start living for yourself, and that's where the real magic happens. If you made it this far into the video, you are obviously serious about leveling up your mindset. So do me a massive favor, smash that like button right now. It really helps out the channel and pushes this out to more people who need to hear it. Hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications so you never miss out when we drop new content. And hey, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment down below and let me know which of these 5 things you are going to cut out of your life starting today. I read as many as I can, and I love seeing you guys take action. Until next time, keep your head up, stay focused, and keep working on you. Peace.